Hello, I am Kelly Hector, the author of the content you are watching, as well as the creator of this channel, where we will expose the tricks attackers have up their sleeves. By watching videos on this channel, this will be a step towards helping you stay ahead of today's threats. If you want to learn how to adapt to the latest attacker tradecraft and behaviors, then this channel's coming content is for you. In 2023, hackers decided that nothing was off limits. From exploiting trusted tools to targeting vital industries like healthcare, attackers really showed their true colors. So, as they change their tactics, are you prepared if you become a target? In 2024, cyber threats will increase. Hackers are weaponizing the tools you use every day. 36% of tools used for remote access were RMM. Since the takedown of Cuckbot, there has been a significant surge in ransomware activities. Notable names like Darkgate, Akira, Lockbit, and Play have grown alarmingly active in the cybercrime arena. Healthcare, once considered off-limits, has now become a hotbed for ransomware and business email compromise attacks. In 2023, there was no mercy shown towards this vital sector, and things are looking even more serious into 2024. So, what exactly is ransomware? Ransomware is a common yet extremely dangerous type of malware. It operates by locking up or encrypting your files, rendering them inaccessible. To regain access, a ransom is typically demanded, often in the form of cryptocurrency. Moreover, cybercriminals might also demand a ransom to prevent your data and intellectual property from being leaked or sold online. In this video, we will cover in depth some of the most recent and serious ransomware threats. We will identify the groups considered the prime suspects. Stay tuned as we investigate much further into how these threats operate and the impact they have had to this point.
Alphv Blackcat, a notoriously successful and vicious organization, is the initial target of our analysis. The ransomware consortium that initiated the ChangeHealthcare attack has resigned. According to reports, LPHV Blackcat collected $22 million from ChangeHealthcare prior to deceiving its affiliates while preparing for a potential rebranding. It was reported that the group had received a ransom payment from ChangeHealthcare, but consequently declined to transfer it to the affiliate responsible for the attack. On Sunday, a user submitted a message to a clandestine criminal forum where they claimed to be an affiliate. The group, also known as LPHV or Blackcat, published the fictitious seizure notice in response to claims that it had received a ransom payment from ChangeHealthcare during the late evening of Monday or early morning of Tuesday. Yet they declined to transfer this payment to the affiliate who was accountable for the offense. An LPHV administrator claimed on Tuesday that the group had decided to officially end the project because the feds screwed us over, as Smiljanets obtained a screenshot of the post. Roughly at the same time, LPHV published the ostensibly bogus seizure notice and announced the sale of its source code for $5 million via a messaging service utilized by the group. The general view among cybercrime researchers is that the authenticity of the FBI seizure notice is highly improbable and seems to have been mirrored from an earlier seizure involving infrastructure associated with LPHVs. Multiple factors, including inconsistent HTML source code in comparison to legitimate seizure notices, the post's timing coinciding with allegations that LPHV administrators defrauded one of their partners, and the denial of involvement by at least one of the law enforcement agencies listed on the takedown notice, the United Kingdom's National Crime Agency, provide support for the conclusion, according to researchers. In the interim, the US Department of Health and Human Services announced on Tuesday that it was implementing measures to support healthcare providers financially and facilitate payment processing. A significant number of these organizations are experiencing cash flow difficulties as a result of the ongoing ransomware attacks. Cybercrime researchers have stated that LPHV appears to be conducting a classic exit fraud by accepting payment and closing its doors. As has been the case previously, scholars warn that LPHV or Blackcat will probably rebrand and reappear in the near future. Will Thomas, a cybercrime researcher and SANS instructor, stated that LPHV affiliates probably lost millions of dollars as a result of law enforcement's decryption operations as part of that operation. Therefore, their decision to cease operations was not unexpected. However, given that this organization has undergone a rebranding that can be linked to darkside and black matter, another return in the near future would not be unexpected, Thomas stated. A now former LPHV administrator stated in an interview with the cybercrime blog Data Breaches. A Department of Justice spokesperson told Cyberscoop late Tuesday that this was not an official US law enforcement action. The FBI did not respond to multiple requests for comment on Tuesday. The UK's National Crime Agency told Reuters that it played no role in any disruptions to the LPHV infrastructure. If confirmed, the $22 million ransom payment could encourage further attacks on the healthcare sector. We saw this in the case of the Conti chat logs, where they identified certain sectors as being more likely to pay. Curtis Minder, the co-founder and CEO of GroupSense and a longtime ransomware negotiator, told Cyberscoop in an online chat, referring to leaked internal documents and chats from the Conti ransomware gang that documented how they would target industries with a history of paying ransoms. But Minder said he was sympathetic towards executives who chose to pay ransoms. Amir Sadon, the director of incident response research with Signia, told Cyberscoop that in this case, it's not yet clear what happened between the group and its affiliates, what law enforcement's role was, or whether the group is actually shutting down. Given the uncertainties, ChangeHealthcare may receive the short-term relief of having its data decrypted, but that doesn't mean the threat is over. In most cases, once you pay the ransom, you will have some sort of guarantee that the group who attacked you will keep their part of the deal. But obviously you can never be sure when you are dealing with criminals, said Sadon, who published an analysis Tuesday of a 2023 Signia incident response engagement dealing with an LPHV Blackcat. Ultimately, the erratic developments surrounding LPHV in recent days highlight the nature of this slice of the cybercrime underworld, said Brett Calow, a threat analyst with Emsisoft. He said, "Sometimes people perceive gangs as organized like legitimate businesses, yet this underscores the chaos within the ecosystem. Criminals scam criminals. Australia investigates major medical data breach involving country's largest online prescription service. Australian healthcare provider hit by ransomware. Police in Australia are investigating a large-scale data breach of a major healthcare business following a ransomware attack on Thursday. Melbourne-based Medisecure's website and hotline were offline following the breach. A statement from the electronic prescription service provider confirmed. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack so far. The company said, Medisecure takes its legal and ethical obligations seriously and appreciates that this information will be of concern. Medisecure is aware that a dataset containing the personal information and limited health information of our customers has been made available on a dark web forum. We urge Australians to not go looking for this data. Accessing stolen, sensitive, or personal information on the dark web only promotes future cybercriminal activities against Australian businesses. While Medisecure is urgently working towards notifying the impacted individuals, we wish to reiterate and reassure the Australian community that this cybersecurity incident does not impact any ongoing access to medication. We encourage anyone concerned about their information to visit the OAIC website for data breach support and resources link. For further information about this cybersecurity incident, please refer to the dedicated Home Affairs webpage. The 24th of May, 2024. Update on cybersecurity incident data breach. Medisecure continues to work closely with the National Cybersecurity Coordinator and relevant government departments, agencies, and regulators in relation to this cybersecurity incident, and we appreciate the ongoing support and assistance. Medisecure is not a current participant in Australia's digital health network. As such, this cybersecurity incident does not impact the prescribing and dispensing of medication. The cybersecurity incident relates to data held by Medisecure systems up until November 2023. We can confirm the cybersecurity incident impacts personal information and limited health information relating to prescriptions. Additionally, this cybersecurity incident also impacts the personal information of healthcare providers. Medisecure understands this will be concerning to our customers, and we are working very hard to communicate with impacted individuals as soon as possible. We appreciate your continued patience, and we will provide further updates to the community when available. In a statement on X, formerly known as Twitter, Australia's National Cybersecurity Coordinator, Lieutenant General Michelle McGuinness, said the government is aware of a dataset purporting to be from the Medisecure breach, along with a sample of the data. She mentioned that the government is working with Medisecure to verify that the data has been published online, which is currently believed to be affecting a relatively small group. McGuinness warned Australians not to go searching for this data, as accessing sensitive or personal information on the dark web promotes the business model of cybercriminals. While this is an unwelcome development, I want to again assure Australians that if individuals are at risk of serious harm through the publication of their information, then we will work with Medisecure to make sure that individuals are appropriately informed, so they may take steps to protect themselves from any further risk to their personal information, McGuinness wrote. Medisecure revealed earlier in May that its systems had been compromised as a result of an attack on a third-party supplier. The firm admitted that the incident had impacted the personal and health information of customers. Medisecure data for sale for $50,000. Hacktivist tracker and intelligence group CyberKnow posted a screenshot of the data leak on X, which purports to show a sample of the stolen information, and the author offered over 6.5 terabytes of data for sale for $50,000. CyberKnow added that it was interesting that the sale is being offered via a forum rather than a ransomware leak site, given that the incident has been reported as a likely ransomware incident. Medisecure reports from ABC News and 7 News.
If you had an e-prescription up until the middle of last year, there's every chance it was handled by Medisecure, the company promising
the certainty of clinical integrity and data security.
But now
there's been a significant data breach on this company.
Doctors demanding an urgent briefing from cybersecurity officials.
There's the potential for a large amount of very sensitive data about the treatment of Australian patients' medical conditions.
Part of the issue is we actually don't know much at all what's going on.
What we do know, Medisecure was hit by a ransomware attack.
They've either encrypted the network involved, or they've stolen the data, or potentially done both.
The focus now on whether people's identities have been hacked.
We are seeking to understand what could have happened and prepare Australians.
So far, she says, there's no need for anyone to replace their Medicare card, which happened after the Medibank hack that impacted more than 9 million Australians. Medisecure says this compromise of its system has been isolated. A different company to Medisecure took over the e-prescription contract late last year, so authorities say current e-scripts aren't affected and can still be used. Insisting people will be told if their information has been compromised, doctors say patients deserve answers.
It's really important that Australians have trust in the prescription system in this country.
Paul Kadak, 7 News.